فلولا إذ جاءهم بأسنا تضرعوا ولكن قست قلوبهم وزين لهم الشيطان ما كانوا يعملون. And when our torment reached them, why did they not believe with humility? Instead, their hearts became hardened, and shaitan beautified for them that which they used to do. He subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator of the causes, and he is the creator of their effects. There is no creator besides him, and no one who decrees the affairs other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the servant is ordered to take caution against the apparent causes of evil, and to avoid those causes of evil to the extent that is related in the Sharia. Not beyond that. You take the means that are found in the Sharia and do not go beyond that. Such as, for example, he mentioned taking precaution from the leper or the sick person, or going to a place from the places of plague, ta'un. But as for that which is hidden and cannot be seen from the people, you can't see it, it is hidden from you in the dunya, then taking precaution against it and trying to avoid it is not legislated in the Sharia. Rather, it is from the forbidden omens, at-tayyara, al-muharrama. Indeed, it is to have evil thoughts, have su'ud dhan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without any verified cause. Hence, it is not permissible. And what is obligatory upon the one who wishes good for himself is not to turn to anything from these false imaginations and deceptive delusions. Rather, instead he should be preoccupied away from them and what repels the calamity, such as making dua, as we mentioned, and making dhikr, and giving in sadaqah, and having trust in Allah, and relying upon Allah, and to have iman in qada and qadar. Not to be afraid. I might catch it. Someone might throw it on me. This is not our understanding of illnesses and diseases and contagion. We believe that Allah is the one who is the creator. Allah is the one who brings illness or creates illness, and Allah is the one who removes it. So we believe, my brothers and sisters, just as Shaykh al-Islam Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab rahimahullah said, there is no escaping for anyone from the determinate decree, nor can anyone exceed what has been written for him in the Lawh al-Mahfuz. My brothers and my sisters, so you should know that nothing is going to harm you except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already decreed for you. So Shaykh Hamdan, Sulaiman bin Hamdan rahimahullah, he said, as for when he surrenders himself to those affairs, meaning being afraid of what is hidden and cannot be seen, of hidden diseases and so on, then he opens the door of whispers to his soul in these affairs, or that he opens the door of anxieties to shaitan, who throws these things into his soul that corrupts his religion and makes his life difficult and miserable. Why? Not because he's got anything. He hasn't got anything. He's not sick, he's not ill. But rather his fear, anxiety, running away. I might get it. So he flees. So this person falls into the traps of shaitan. He becomes anxious. And maybe that which he took precaution against befalls him as a punishment against him. This is what you feared, so this is what Allah will give you. As for the one who fears Allah, repents to Allah, is not afraid of that which is hidden and he cannot see it. Rather, he trusts in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just as Shaykh Al-Albani rahimahullah ta'ala, that he said that he's heard of people from the physicians and other than them, that they will not touch anyone. And they say by touching him, he's got some sort of microbes or bacteria or infection upon him, so I won't touch him. He looks at him and there's nothing wrong with him. He sees him, he looks like he's looking into a mirror himself. Healthy. So he won't touch him. Shaykh Al-Albani said, and this is a waswasa. This is a whispering. Meaning from the whisperings of shaitan that normally occur and are restricted to the worshippers, like you hear of it. Those who have whisperings and waswasa with regard to tahara, with regard to their salah, with regard to their intentions. Normally it happens to some people that shaitan, he whispers to. But he says that this is a waswasa that has passed into other than the worshippers, such as the physicians and doctors and so on. So then he explains that this is a whispering that destroys personal ties and human relations, which Allah has established between the people. So therefore, the foundational principle, the asl, in relations between people, is that a person to another person, that they are taken upon their origin. They are not filthy, they are not diseased, they are not harmful to you, neither their hand, nor their sweat, nor when they embrace. That's the origin with regard to the believers, to a believer, with regard to people, between people. That's the asl. And therefore the assumption, he says, is the assumption of health and well-being. Not fear, not scaremongering. Then he said, and these are the ai''immah, like Shaykh Al-Albani rahimahullah. He said, thus when it is established and verified that a person, for example, may Allah protect us, has a disease, and then he gives the example of tuberculosis. And it is established that he has this disease with certain knowledge, that he is afflicted. Then in that situation, a person can keep away. Why? Because the sickness now is apparent. And now he can act upon the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Do not take your healthy camel to the sick camel. Now you have something. Because here the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he gave the advice and he commanded, do not take the healthy to the sick. When he was asked about the camels, then Shaykh Al-Albani rahimahullah, he said, then as for the whisper that whispers in the minds of the people, maybe he has it, maybe he has it, maybe he has it. He said, this is Shaykh Al-Albani. Maybe he has it, maybe he has it, maybe he has it. Then this is not permissible. Because this is to have evil suspicions and evil thoughts towards Muslims. And secondly, it will lead to the cutting off of the ties of brotherhood between you and them. However, if it can be verifiably established that he is afflicted with a disease, you can see it, then you can take precautions. Then you can avoid drinking from the same vessel. Then you can say that maybe I shouldn't come too close. But as for the whisperings, then no. Because this affair is not from whisperings. This is verified. Because you can see it. And the scholar of our time, or one of the scholars of our time, Sheikh Salih al-Sheikh, Hafidhahullah, he said in reality, fear is the incurable disease when the soul is afflicted with it. And fear is either praiseworthy or it is blameworthy. Praiseworthy fear is the fear of Allah with its conditions. And the second type of fear is a blameworthy fear. From the blameworthy fear, which is sinful for a person to harbor, is fear of other than Allah in what relates to the causes of evil. However, there is a fear which a person can have which is not sinful. Rather, it is natural fear. So it is necessary for a believer to be strong, not to be fearful of circumstances and situations encountered in life. Go through. Don't be afraid. However, if a situation of particular fear comes to him, then it is natural that he will be afraid. But we are not afraid of something that is hidden from you. Just because others tell you be afraid of your mother, don't go near her. Don't touch her. Don't go near your father. My brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded the prophets alayhimus salatu wassalam, and Allah described them. إنهم كانوا يسارعون في الخيرات ويدعوننا رغبا ورهبا. They used to hasten to do good deeds, and they would supplicate to us in hope and fear.